Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. I talk a lot on this show how we really need local governments. This is how we're going to make change. I've talked about the Minneapolis City Council, what they're doing since the George Floyd murder. How Seattle City Council, led by Kashwama Sawant, who's an openly socialist, right? Talk about Richmond, California. Gail McLaughlin fought Chevron and won on a city council. So this is why, because it would have been great if Bernie would have won and all these but Joe Biden and even Bernie and AOC and everybody, they've all folded. They're all playing ball with the Pelosi's of the world. So we're not going to see it on a federal level. We need to pressure it from the ground up. So your local community, that's why it's even more important now than ever, because your local city council can do what Asheville, North Carolina just did. Asheville City Council approves reparations plan as Providence explores idea. Providence, Rhode Island. So Asheville just did it, and Providence, Rhode Island is looking into it. The city will make investments in areas where black residents face disparities. We did a show in Asheville, North Carolina 2 years ago. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Veterans for Peace were there. We had a cool opening act. It was fun. It was a really cool vibe. Asheville's like a hippie mountain town. There's a college there, and it's mostly white. It's mostly white, like lefty, liberal, hippie people. But this is important. This is why getting involved in your local government is important. Sitting around waiting for the Democratic National Committee to get some progressive in the White House ain't going to happen until all the local governments are progressive. This is, and this kind of just don't just think the Democrats are going to save you. They're not. Look, Los Angeles has Democratic mayor. We have a Democratic governor. What have they done? The Asheville City Council voted 7-0 on a resolution Tuesday night that formally apologized to its black residents for the city's role in slavery, discriminatory housing practices, and other racist policies throughout its history. I'm going to do a separate video on this because I'm learning more about this. But when we talk about systemic racism, we talk about laws and policies that were put in place hundreds of years ago. One of the things that I've learned about is the intergenerational transfer of wealth has happened much less to black people because of all of these laws and rules. They couldn't own property, this, that, and the other thing. I think about, like, my grandfather fought in World War I. He came back. It wasn't called the GI Bill, but he got some kind of veteran who served money. He got his degree, got a law degree. He could be a small town lawyer. He was a small town lawyer in Illinois, was able to buy a house, and money was left to my mom. We weren't rich, but it was like we were middle class. And that wasn't there for friends of mine who were black. They didn't have that. That's part of the systemic racism with all these laws. The black can own property. They got screwed when even blacks who served in the Civil War and World War I and especially World War II came back and didn't, especially World War II, when they came back and America enjoyed the boom and post-World War II era, a lot of black people were left out of that. So they didn't have a home to leave to their children or a nice retirement plan. That's a big deal. That's how you keep money. That's how intergenerational wealth happens. That's how wealth grows. Your grandfather, a family member passes away, leaves you a little bit of money, 50 grand, 100 grand. That's a big chunk of change. Oh, you use that to put down on a home for your family, and that home appreciates in value. That's how the middle class grew, in mainly for whites. That's white privilege. So this is important. What Asheville is doing is important. The measure also calls for a plan to provide reparations to its black residents in the form of investments in their community. Increasing minority home ownership. What was I just talking about, right? Increasing minority business ownership and career opportunities. Again, you get a little money. You buy a little family business. It's a mom and pop business. Your kids work there. You leave that business to your children, or you sell it for a profit and your kids get you know what I mean? That's how that intergenerational wealth keeps going. And black people in this country haven't had that same opportunity as much. Increasing minority business ownership and career opportunities, and strategies to grow equity and generational wealth. See how important that is? You think about it. I've been doing a lot of analyzing. Wow, all this, I was born middle class. I'm a middle class white guy, but there's a lot of privilege in that. Just my parents telling me, you're going to college. They had 4 kids, me, my brother, and my 2 sisters. And it was a done deal. They were paying for our college. They're like, if you get into Harvard, you're going to have to get student loans. We can't afford that, but you get into any state school, we can pay for it. That was just done. It was a done deal because their parents had money to make sure they went to, like, all of that happened, right? In a statement that the council was looking to embed systemic solutions. And again, when some white people go, oh, all lives matter, they're afraid that, like, giving the black community equality is going to take, this isn't going to take anything away from any of the white people in Asheville, North Carolina. It's not going to take away your equality. It's going to make your whole community better. Because let me tell you something, a community where everybody's got ownership in their businesses and owns their own home, that's a better community. That's a better community. The people are like, oh, the blacks should pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. Well, they don't have boots, man. They don't even have feet in some cases. If everyone has an opportunity, then it makes for a better society. Everybody owning more stuff rather than the banks and the big corporations. It's better if most Americans own. Small businesses create jobs. Big corporations don't. More Americans owning homes is better for America. We lost that 10 years ago in the housing crisis, and we're going to lose more now with this bullshit with the CARES Act. So this is big. Asheville has a population of 92,870 people, 83%, which is white, according to the census. Minorities own roughly 9.7% of the town's 12,785 businesses. So that's not even, so if this means that 17% of the city's population is not white, but they only own 9 points. So already right there, we're looking at like an 8% disparity, even just in that statistic. Calls for the creation of a community reparations commission that will be made up of businesses, local groups, and elected officials. This is huge, man. It's big. You can do this in your town because you know what? They're going to attempt it in Providence, Rhode Island. Wednesday evening, Providence, Rhode Island Mayor Jorge Elorza signed an executive order that would explore reparations for the city's black and indigenous residents. You lift people out of poverty or even just intergenerational lack of upward mobility, that's better for the whole community. That's better for the whole country. It'd make America better. America could be this amazing place. Right now, it's a failed state. It's a goddamn banana republic. It's the United Corporations of America. It's a joke. $4.25 trillion went to Wall Street in the CARES Act. It should have gone to Americans of all ethnicities. So this is what we got to do. We got to do this on this. So get your city council involved. Run for your city council. And don't run as a Democrat. Run as a member of the People's Movement for People's Party or Democratic Socialist or something. Run as a Green, whatever. Take over your city council. And get this going. This is how you grow your community. This is how you make it better. Rather than sitting around waiting for Bernie and AOC to fly in on his magic spaceship and rescue us. They're not. They sold out. They're Tulsi. They've all paid. Oh, with Joe Biden. They're all busy playing footsie with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, who's just as awful as Mitch McConnell. Yes, Trump's bad. Blah, 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 blah. This is how you defeat the bullshit. This is how you get the corporations out of there. You make it impossible for them to do business in your town. That's what you do. Get involved. See what happens. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.